Hello learners, welcome to NeenvIAS. In this session, we are going to discuss science and technology PYQs for CSE mains. The topic is space technology, right? So let us see the question. The question came in 2015. The question says, what do you understand by standard positioning systems and precision positioning systems in the GPS era? Discuss the advantages India perceives from its ambitious earnest program employing just 7 satellites. Right. So this mention of just 7 satellites is important, and I'll link it in conclusion. All right. So to understand the question, please do not provide the use of the satellite. Okay. They're asking the advantages. Of course, it's the usage, but how it will help, right? The implication of the usage, that is more important, right? So structure is given in the question itself. Science and technology usually has a straightforward structure that is already given by the question. So what is the blueprint? You need to define GPS and explain the significance as a global navigation system, but there are concerns over its control by the USA. We'll discuss that. Then you compare SPS and PPS. Then you give the importance of the NAVIC system. Basically, the first it was Airness, right? Then it was renamed as NAVIC. To conclude, you summarize the advantages that India perceives, of course, right? And connected with the regional influence. So what is the introduction? Of course, see, if you mention GPS, you need to mention that it is owned by USA. Although we use it, but it is owned by the USA, and because of which in geopolitical tensions, the USA can really stop the access to GPS. So that is the most important thing. That is the risk. Hence, we need to understand also what is SPS and PPS, because they are part of how GPS or how location services function, right? So that is the need for awareness, because India needs to develop its own thing. And after Kargil war, this was given approval. So what is the standard positioning system? Standard, of course, you can understand something that is very normal or that is done regularly. So this is for civilian use. It has accuracy. We are discussing GPS, by the way, over here. SPS and PPS of GPS. So accuracy is quite good, 5 to 10 meters. That is why it is able to pinpoint your location. But there are some issues that happen. We'll discuss at some other stage in the answer itself. So it is useful for most daily applications, right? Like location-based services, mapping, navigation, which everybody uses. Vulnerability is there that in Kargil war, India was denied the GPS location of enemy, let's say the sites, enemy sites. And even USA stopped the civilian usage. Now in India, in Indian case, in Kargil war, they did not give us the military usage. But with regards to civilian usage also, they denied the civilian usage in Iraq during the war. So everyday application, like I mentioned. Now coming to the PPS, which is precision positioning system. Now this name will tell you that precision something special. So precision means it is a high accuracy GPS service that has less than a meter accuracy. All right, it is only used for by military and the government agencies of USA and their allies, and it is encrypted in nature. That means you can't hack it, right? So we come to now the India's IRNAS, that is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, and NAVIC system, navigation with Indian Constellation program. So Indian Constellation means the satellite, the constellation created by the satellite. So IRNAS was renamed as NAVIC. So the purpose is, of course, the self-reliance. That is very important, so that we don't depend on some other country, at least in our area, during geopolitical tensions, right? So it has 7 satellites. They will be surrounding, let's say this is India. So they will be surrounding 1500 kilometers around India, right? Because of which this is very helpful in regional cooperation also. Accuracy is almost 10 meters and less than 10 meters also. Now it also has 2 services. NAVIC also has 2 services like GPS, which is standard positioning systems that is available to all users, and of course there is a restricted service. Name is different, purpose is same, like the precision positioning system. It is encrypted, it is high accuracy service for authorized users, right? See, the thing is, we don't have access to this. We don't have access to precision positioning system. All right. So what is the advantages that India perceives from IRNAS or NAVIC? See, the thing is, India is the fourth country in the world which has a recognized global navigation system by International Maritime Organization. So India is the fourth country which is given the standard, which is given the acceptance in worldwide radio navigation system. So this is a very important recognition. Other three countries are USA, Russia and China. So the first thing is, we want strategic autonomy and we want to focus on indigenous technology. Like in nuclear technology, India also wants to become independent in this technology. Of course, due to restrictions, due to nuclear tests, India was stopped from, let's say, transfer of technology. So space, nuclear technology we have developed on our own. So independent access to critical satellite navigation data is the benefit because it is fully under Government of India's control. So precision mapping or restricted usage will be given to Indian armies and navigation freely. We will not be dependent on other countries. So reduce reliance, like I just said, uninterrupted access during geopolitical tensions. So it is essential for military operations, especially missile tracking, right, and surveillance. Next is enhanced national security. Of course, if you have dedicated positioning systems, then of course it will enhance your army's operations in even the enemy area, because India is surrounded by hostile countries. So it is critical for border surveillance, especially with China, as it is well known that China is developing infrastructure around the India's northeast border and the Ladakh border near the Pangong Lake. Improve disaster management. This is very critical because many times we don't have the resource to map the disaster area properly. So this will help, and ISRO satellites in 2013 helped in Uttarakhand floods also. Enhance precision for critical applications, because obviously SPS has GPS accuracy which we use in Google Maps, for example. The RS, the restricted one, that has sub-meter accuracy. That means it is accurate in less than meter. So it will give you centimeter level accuracy. So this is helpful in missile targeting. Now satellites, this is one of the best benefits which I mentioned before in terms of navigation and location based services. See, satellites that are placed, there's the 7 satellites that are placed in NAVIC, they are rightly basically above the India continent, subcontinent. The benefit of that is, see, there are urban areas, there are tall buildings. So because of which location accuracy is sometimes not there. If you use Google Maps frequently, you will find sometimes the accuracy falls to 50 meters also, right? And 100 meters, or mostly 50 meters if something is, it's something of an urban area. So what happens is, due to tall buildings, let's say this is the urban landscape and there are tall buildings and road is going from there, right? So what happens is, because of these tall buildings, the GPS data or the connection is broken. So they are not able to pinpoint properly, GPS one. But due to NAVIC having satellites right above the earth, right, in geosync and geotransfer orbit, so because of that, we can provide accurate information even in urban areas. So this is called urban canyons. So the prediction of location in urban canyon is much better. Next we come to regional leadership and cooperation, which I briefly mentioned. Because the coverage extends to SAARC countries, that will help India stage itself as a let's say regional leader, right? So already Nepal and Bhutan are using NAVIC, so that helps in our global standing. Next is economic benefits and innovation. It fosters indigenous technological development, and also government is supporting this technology by asking the mobile manufacturers to have a chip that is compatible with NAVIC. So that will lead to indigenous chip development. All right. So it promotes innovation, job creation. These are very generic points. Tailored services for regional needs. Now this is very important because specific regional requirements for terrestrial, aerial and maritime applications can be there. Basically Indian Air Force, Indian Army, Indian Navy, they all can be provided with the data and the type of data they need. Support for critical sectors like in agriculture, precision farming. In transportation, fleet management, where are your trucks, where are your tempos, how much distance they are traveling, how much they are stopping, things like this. Telecommunication, because accurate timing is very important in telecommunication. So if we have our own system, we can rely on it, and of course we have GPS. So we have redundancy also. That means we have a backup also. Now, many people will not write this, so it is important to know this. What are the issues and future directions? Issues is that the band that they have used initially, that was not really compatible with a lot of devices, but the NavIC 2.0, in that they have released launched a satellite already last year, and they are using other bands. So first they used L5 and S bands, L5 and S bands. Now they are using L1 band, which is more compatible with other devices, right? So global network, and in future things are that India wants to create a global navigation system which will have 25 plus satellites. So let's come to the conclusion now. So IRNAS shows that India's growing technological prowess, right, and its ambition to secure a leading position in the global space domain. Now IRNAS program, although employing a smaller constellation, okay, smaller constellation, offers significant advantage by ensuring strategic autonomy, enhancing national security, and promoting regional cooperation. Now the question said, what is the benefit that you perceive just by 7 satellites? So that is what I have written in conclusion, that it perceives, India perceives national security, strategic autonomy, and regional cooperation. Okay. So this is an additional note. See, GPS is owned by USA, although we use it a lot. Don't think that it is not a proprietary technology. It is specific to USA. Other countries have their own systems. So another term which I want to discuss is global navigation satellite system. Now this is declared by IMO, which I briefly mentioned. So the various systems, let's discuss that. GPS is by United States, BeiDou by China, Galileo by European Union, GLONASS by Russia, IRNAS by India, QZSS by Japan, right? So these two, India and Japan one, are regional ones, and these are global, right? But the global navigation satellite system branding is given to both global and regional satellite systems, right? Okay. Last thing before finishing off this question, please read about the Gagan, GPS aided, right? So please read about this. This is related to this question. This might be asked in some or the other way, right? So that is all for this question. Thank you.